they've already threatened me with turning me into the new Manson. They've threatened me with Eazy-E AIDS. They called me a black female because of the woman who allegedly created the Matrix and is in some long, drawn-out lawsuit. And the latest one is they tried to George Michael me. Well, they got on their little 00 Kevin, called their buddy, had him go to the bathroom, blocked the bathroom, and had me standing outside while a woman took pictures. That's right. My real life is more interesting than a Jim Thompson novel. And you can hear it all here. The Grievance Gordy Show. Grievance Gordy Show. Grievance Gordy Fashion Show. Don't you know? Yeah! That's right. What is happening, guys? How's it going? I come at you every day with a half-an-hour show. Come hell. Oh, I finally got a high water. They must have been watching my show. That's right. They watch your show. And then they pretend like they don't. That's right. They do whatever they can to interrupt your show. And that's why I call them 00 Kevin. Because it's all based on rumor and innuendo. And if there was actually a crime or something being committed, if I was a felon, I could understand it. I'm not a felon. I'm in the 360 Panopticon. So you'll hear it probably during this show. You'll hear a disturbance of some sort, whatever. I have to do my show from a specific area outside of the park because of there's something going on in the park. I don't keep track of events. I keep track of my own life. And it looks like I'll probably be starting a second channel. In case you don't know, I moved out to Los Angeles. I was supposed to move here in 2018. I had a job set up for me. They laid me off. I got laid off. I worked another job. They also laid me off because I didn't have an address here. So, again, I think the era of trying to get somebody on video and running around with your camera to try to get hits is over. It's definitely over for me. So what you're watching now is my show actually developed. It's a show in development. Oh, it's so good. So good. Oh, thank God for Starbucks. I went to the Starbucks inside of the Pavilion's grocery store. They didn't give me any guff. They just gave me what I ordered. It was a really nice, pleasant experience. I'm in West Hollywood. I have to go where the libraries are. And like I said, I came out west because of my skill set. Make no mistake about it. That's right. And by the way, I don't know if you know, I think the Simple Minds did that song, Don't You Forget About Me. And the word that was for a John Hughes film. I can't remember which one. I don't know. Look it up yourself. I'm wicked alma mater. That's right. I look everything up on Wikipedia. That way everything is provable and real. And you can look it up yourself. Don't forget, I'm not harder, smarter, better, faster than anyone. I'm just a little greasier. That's right. I try to maintain a pretty good sense of humor. What are you going to do? Like I said, I'm in the Panopticon. I'm being 360'd. There is no doubt. And I will start a second channel, and I'll keep you guys abreast of that. So basically what I'm working on now is a property called Golden Years. I think it's a great idea. I think it's important. Now, the reason I came up with part of the idea is from the film Reds. That's on my playlist. So please, check out my playlist. I can't remember which one it's on, but just give a look through there. I got some songs. I got some great films, some films that inspired me. It was also somewhat inspired by Dave Chappelle. So you had Dave Chappelle interviewing Charlie Murphy. Everybody loves these skits. And again, I will not get any other people on video. I'm not here for that. I'm here to do my show and drink coffee. That's really why I'm here, I swear to God. And then when I'm done, I go to the library and I write usually between 3,000 and, I can write more, but you can see, look at my day starting. Look at my day started. My day just started. I'm on a regimen of celery and peanut butter until I get my benefits. That's all I'm going to eat. I don't appreciate getting only $200 a month when that only lasts the person 10 days. And that's your national benefits. That's what you get on your bridge card. I'm not here to cheat the system. I'm not here to lie. I'm not here to give you, what do you call it? I'm not here to give you hackable, like life hacks. I might be a hack. I'm very much a hack, but I'm not here to give you life hacks. What I'm doing is I'm developing an actual show. This one that you're watching, while I'm writing Linoleum Blown Apart. That's an on-demand series. Oh my God. Oh, so good. And I'm doing it all with a bad reputation. That's right. It's like the one film, you just get mad as hell and you're just not going to take it anymore. Absolutely right. I got really tired of dealing with mediocre talent. And by the way, so in the John Hughes film, the band wrote the song. He made the band go back and write it again. Write a better song. And that's the song that you hear on the radio today. By the Simple Minds. I'm a kid from the 80s, obviously. Let me come in just to make sure that you know. For sure. There is no doubt. Yeah, and now what would you think about that? Now, I have songs. I am a songwriter. I trained myself to be a songwriter. Make no mistake about it. And that's another thing that these guys can't wrap their mind around. How would you feel if you're the songwriter and the frickin' director tells you, no, it's not good enough? Go back in there and do it again. I believe De Niro and Scorsese did the same thing in New York, New York. They told them to go back in there and rewrite that song. It's just not good enough. It's not up to par. That's right. And I knew my songs were okay, but I need real musicians to play them. And I just got sick and tired of sitting there on social media and griping about everything. And I decided to go out and actually do something. That's why I left Detroit in 1992. Make no mistake about it. So I got a great property for possibly Gene Simmons. Now, don't forget, I was listening to Kiss at age 12. I write about it in my book, Two-Legged Animal. You could throw that book out. I never put it out. If it's out, it's unbeknownst to me. I never gave anyone permission to put out that book. It might be being passed around electronically. I don't know. And I don't really care. I've moved on in my life. I wrote that book. That's collected work from going all the way back, whatever, in the Wayback Machine. Who cares? So, anyway, I really like Gene Simmons' reality show. I loved his reality show, and I loved Reverend, what was his name? Reverend Run, the guy from Run DMC. His reality show was awesome. Those two reality shows, I think, resonated with me more than any, like family. You know what I'm talking about. It's about their little family. And it was like, I love those two shows. So I'm thinking that maybe if we can get Gene Simmons interested in this, like I was talking before in another episode about the S and how some people said it was satanic, or you're blah, 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 you're with the SS or whatever. And by the way, I came up with a logo for the fascist government in my property. Now, don't forget, I spend every day in the library. And if this has to take place in another alternative universe, like they did in The Wall, you know how he had like the cross hammers or the cross hatchets, whatever he had. So I came up with a little bit of a logo that they could have, the fascist government that kidnaps Walter and his father and uncle. But aside from all that, what I have now, what I was working on yesterday, because you got to take a break from things. You understand? You got to take a break, and I had to take a little mind break from working on Linoleum Blown Apart. Why? Because I'm getting ready to type the entire thing up and to have it ready and presentable. That's right. Ready to go. And I'll be right back after these messages. Oh. So, this was one I came up with, like I said, because of Dave Chappelle interviewing Charlie Murphy, because of Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, something that I used to watch when I was a kid, because of Bill Burr's show, and because I made friends with a 90-year-old woman, Greek lady, in Queens, New York, before I left. And she was really great. She was great. She was cantankerous, and she told me a story about beating a lady up. It was great. She's from the not-so-silent generation. My parents are in their 80s, and I was so glad that I could live with them for the little time that I did. They're from the not-so-silent generation. So these people are still around, thank God. And you've got plenty of... they used to call them old folks home. I don't know what they call them. I'm sorry, I got to go with what I know. You have plenty of communal living. And you can go and get these rich stories. Now, you can have them, make them as violent and crazy as you want. Why? Because, what do you call it? Because the statute of limitations has run out. But apparently for me, it doesn't look like it ever will. Like I said, I'm in the 360 Panopticon. Nobody's telling me why. I'm being LARPed very hard. But you can see I keep going. And I am living off benefits. And I already got into that. Okay. So. That's when I came up with this property. And what I was writing at the time, it was going to be considered one of my stories that went into something called a quick pick-me-up. A quick pick-me-up. I'll try to post it. They're allowing me to post now, which is really great. Thank you very much, YouTube. I'm YouTube exclusive. I only got one tube. And that's great. So, anyway, so this was one of the short stories that I was writing. A lot of people don't know that some films like Butterfield 8 came out of the short stories in The New Yorker. I talk about The New Yorker. I talk about Sunday Brunch. I think there's a new show about brunch. I love brunch. I miss brunch. I miss my friends. I miss my family. I miss going out and spending time with them because I am a family man. But apparently, I am the Fredo of my family. That's right. Make no mistake about it. I was forcibly, passive-aggressively, I should say. I didn't mean to say forcibly, but I was passively-aggressively kicked out of my family. There's the music. I don't know if you can hear it. It'll be a short episode today, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about my property. It's called Golden Years. And so you would go around and get these great stories, and you would animate them. Now, that's the B-roll. That's the cutaway. Because that's who these guys are. People like Gene Simmons and Reverend Run used to be. Look what happened to the guy from Run DMC. He got murdered. Make no mistake about it. This shit's real. And that's the kind of life that I came up in. Very dangerous, very real. That's why I call them the Warren Tattoo Crew and blah, blah, blah. You can check out my old episodes. I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Maybe I should have went to the other library today. I didn't know what's going on. I don't check things. I live in the moment. I live moment to moment and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to get to it. It's going to be a quick episode, I swear. That's right, because most people don't watch my episodes past 10 minutes, and that's okay. That's all right. So you don't watch my episodes. All right. That's cool. Take a hike. This coffee is so good. I don't know what it is. She might have given me dark. I don't know. Oh. You know me. I'm a man of habit. I love my habits. I love going to Starbucks. Shut up. I'm just trying to catch up, please. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Oh. I don't know what you can hear and what you can't hear. But again, I am a libertarian. I believe you should leave people the fuck alone. But we are going in to a panopticon future. So what do you want to do about it? Are we going to eat bugs? Are we going to eat synthetic meat? Hey, I don't have a problem with it, but that's not what this show is about. The show is about my creative process. And part of that has been a storyteller. And part of that is letting you guys know that I don't have mommy media connections. You understand? I did everything that I did, and I'm damn proud of it, most of it, as just a guy who just went out there and did it. And I was targeted, I was attacked the entire way, and they definitely stepped it up 100%, but you can see me, I'm here. And I'm telling you about golden years. That's right, you have to get the Bowie song. It's not gonna work without it. And I don't care how things are done anywhere. That's what punk rock was about. It was about do it yourself, and that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it myself. And, like I said, I mentioned my detractors before, and, excuse me, hopefully going forward, I won't have to talk about these people anymore. They're out of my life. And again, who are you going to have ambivalence with? But people that you know. And I don't read about being set up in books because I actually was set up. And I'd like to do my show about at 15 minutes talking about my real life and then 15 minutes talking about my property to try to get you guys to watch my entire show. That's why. Why do you think? But what I'm not going to do is going to lie and run game on you guys because it's leaving a bad taste in my mouth, the game that they've been running on me, and it's looking like they've been running it for quite some time. I try to do my show from a public spot. I might have picked a private property, and I do apologize for that. Like I said, I'm not going to turn my camera on somebody and start trying to get hits. You either watch my show and you enjoy it and you like what I have to say, because I'm trying to get a job. Or take a hike, unsubscribe, get lost, right? Because I'm building this from the ground up. And these guys ran game on me so hard, I don't even know if one of my former best friends is dead. That's how bad these motherfuckers are running game on me. So make no mistake about it. I'm not running anywhere. I came here because I was planning on coming here when they were running game using an algorithm. And I consider that cheating if we're in some kind of competition. Because trust me, they would lose. And they lost years ago. They just don't know it. They wouldn't try to bury my music. They wouldn't try to belittle me if they didn't. That's right. And this goes to people in the former punk rock scene, Cash for Smells crew. That's what I call that bitch-ass crew. And then there is also Lacricchio family, who's my step family, completely involved in all of this. And again, also the Warren Tattoo crew. And I'm telling you, this is where guys like Michael Franchise go to Andiamo's, which is a place that my dad, who I love more than the people in my own family, my stepdad, Anthony Lacricchio, I got more respect for him because respect is earned than anybody in my real family. That's right. Cheers to that. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. So, Golden Years isn't just the cartoon part, because you have to cut to something that's kind of fun. And these old people, they love telling those stories. Oh my God, give them a gift card. they'll tell you every single story. I stabbed this guy one time. I sliced him. They'll tell you anything. I love it. I grew up as a kid cleaning old people's houses because we had to make money because our father abandoned us. And I talk about things like that. Killing your children, killing your father, right? People like John Cazale, who left this endemic mark. And don't forget, now, Meryl Streep was married to John Cazale. Do you really think, and I consider him to be her holy guardian angel, the way Shelley was my holy guardian angel, maybe still is, my passed away sister. That's right. Maybe I wouldn't be here if she hadn't passed away. And do you think Meryl Streep would have been able to pull these rich performances without being able to tap into that hurt that she felt at the death of John Cazale? That's right. Who knows, right? These are the kind of things that I'm interested in. These are the kind of conversations that I like to have. And these are the kind of conversations that you can't have with, hey, I heard they got some French cheese here. Is that French cheese or
Francis, is he here today?
Yeah, that's who we're talking about. I never thought I was harder, smarter, better, faster than anyone until these guys basically told me that I am. And that's why I'm here. So you have that story, you have the cutaways to all these great stories that we can animate. And then you have your basic story of Golden Years. And what is it? It's the story of an old rock star and his stripper wife. Now I have the pilot episode, and that's what I have. And it's his stripper girlfriend. Well, is it his wife? Is it his girlfriend? So what we have is the insurance companies merge. So when the insurance companies merge, they're like, well, we merged companies, corporate bureaucrats, right? Our companies merged, so we're going to have to look at all of your IDs all over again. Now, remember what we just went through with COVID. So we're going to include that in this. They have to do things through video conferencing. And they're like my parents' age. I just went through this with my parents. God bless them. Shit, they'll probably outlive me. I hope they do. So the insurance companies merge. And so you have, they have to find their wedding certificate. Well, they can't even remember if they were actually married because, like me, they were partying all through the 70s, bro. That's when I started, dude, broski. That's right. In the 1970s. I grew up at 6 Mile and Gratiot in the 1970s, and I was partying pretty hardy. And I was listening to Kiss. They were one of my favorite bands. And let me tell you something. Kiss Destroyer is one of those perfect albums where you put it on and you can play it all the way through. And every single song just kind of, right? Just the way Pink Floyd was afforded to do, Dark Side of the Moon, the way Queens of the Stone Age have songs for the deaf. You could put that album on all the way through. There's very few albums like that. That's like the perfect album. I'm trying to think of what Aerosmith's was, but I really like Toys in the Attic, but Rocks is good. I don't know. But anyway, so you could see that I came up with this classic rock mindset. Now, don't ever forget, classic rock is a lot of these guys listening to African American music from the hills and then reinterpreting it with electric guitars and feeding it back to us. Now it bounced off that signal in the Eggyverse, and then I absorbed it when I was a child, and I'm listening to these songs, and I'm talking about when I am 8, 9, and 10 years old. That's right. When I was 8 years old, I had all the lyrics from Johnny Cash's Live in San Quentin memorized because that was an album that my dad left for me. And I would stand at the door and I would cry for my dad to come home. That was my childhood. And so again, with its Roman Clef method, you have to take all that and put it into your property, and that's what I'm doing. I have one of the greatest untapped imaginations in Los Angeles, make no mistake about it. So what happens is this rock and roll guy and his stripper girlfriend, they have to come up with the paperwork. Well, they have to go through their property. And what's their property? They've been regaled to the back, kind of like OJ and what's that guy? Kato Kaelin. Kato Kaelin was a friend of Norm Macdonald's. I'm a huge Norm Macdonald fan. I think he brought a lot to comedy. I did an episode, actually, I started my show right around the time that he died. Anyways, that's an old episode, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So they're regaled to the back, like above the garage, like Arthur Fonzarelli. They give him a little spot above the garage, right? It's like, yeah, we got a spot for you guys back there. Well, guess what? That's because they lived in the mansion. He once had that mansion. And take a look at my playlist. There's a guy named Michael DeBar. He was in a band called Silverhead. One of my favorite songs, I think it's, if I can remember it, is In Your Eyes. That's one of my favorite songs. Please listen to that song today. I'd appreciate it. Please get into Coinbase. Click the link. I always put a link in the description for Coinbase. And you need to get into cryptocurrency. And you need to play it safe. And don't take any advice from me, because this is not an advice channel. This is showing you my creative process, number one. Number two, I'm looking for work. because I'm not a bum. And I think a lot of these homeless people actually are looking for work. Please stand by. So, the saving grace to this show. Now, I don't know how it's going to be shit. Like, when I came up, there were 3-camera comedies, like the 3-camera setup for a sitcom. I don't know what they would shoot now. I see that they're shooting things in a little bit of a different way. Again, I think somebody like Gene Simmons, somebody who knows this rock and roll lifestyle would be perfect for this. In what capacity? I don't know. Like I said, back in my day, all these actors put out albums. Guys like Iggy Pop and Joe Strummer got small acting parts. That's what I was trying to go for. And that's what I actually succeeded in going for. Until I found out years later that I was targeted the entire time. Did that targeting start in my neighborhood? Was that targeting based on being mixed race instead of a pure blood? I don't know. I guess you would have to take a 23andMe test. That's right. I'm here on behalf of 23andMe and Coinbase to tell my story in a site more interesting than yours. That's right. Why? Because you can start a channel yourself. That's right. You can come to YouTube as long as you follow all the rules. And sometimes I don't know what they are until I break them. Huh? That's right. Anyway, so let's wrap this up. The best part. So they're regaled to the back property. And they have this, they're in trouble. Your insurance is going to get canceled, right? And so luckily, the latchkey, here come the latchkey kids. Well, who are the latchkey kids? They're the children of the rich people who moved into the mansion that used to belong to the rock star and his stripper girlfriend. That's right. They have 2 kids, and they'll come over, and one kind of gravitates towards the rock and roll guy. Now, you could do this, where it's not usual to the type. You can have, mixed race people. You could have the girl kind of gravitating towards the music. Oh, by the way, there was this great channel I used to watch on YouTube. Boy, I wish I could give them a shout out. It was a girl, and her dad was a musician, and she just followed in his footsteps, and she's really amazing. It would be somebody like around that age. You'd have the girl be the musician, and the boy be like the IT nerd. So one of them has to help the stripper go online, go through Skype, go through the house, find their marriage certificate, and then the other one helps the old blues guy. He's a rock and roll guy, really, but he's like, again, he would be around Gene Simmons' age. Help him set up his Skype so he could jam with musicians on the big screen in his little jam room. And so this becomes an area of contention, right? The stripper basically has the living room, the kitchen. She has the entire house, and he just holds out. I gotta have my jam room, right? Because this is something that I always wanted. I actually had to go and rent a space at the Hive by the Warren Tattoo Crew. That's right. In order to create Linoleum Blown Apart. And Linoleum Blown Apart are the songs that are going into my property, which is called Linoleum Blown Apart. That's right. I'm still writing it, but I'm also working on the pilot episode of Golden Years. This is a really easy to write up. Why? Because it's only an hour, and each page is 1 minute. So if you have like a 50-minute show or whatever they are now, I don't even know. And by the way, they made an entire series out of Mosquito Coast. That's what I'm trying to watch now. And listen, guys, I got to wrap it up. I might be on private property. I don't know, but I'll be coming to you every single day with a half-an-hour show. And thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.